Hello! Welcome back. I'm Haley, COO, co-founder, and athletic trainer at Theract. And today is Wellness Wednesday. So welcome. Today I'm talking about hip flexor tightness in working from home and tightness in the muscles and how sitting all day can lead to that. So the question was looking for stretches for the hip flexors and other muscles. And I will share a couple stretches, but I also want to share a couple other things because sometimes we can stretch and stretch and stretch, and then tomorrow we go do the same thing we did today, working at the computer all day, and they get tight again. So I think that there are other things that we can do as well to help with that. I have some experience with hip flexor tightness and weakness, and so I'm going to share with you a couple things that I have done and have helped other people with doing. So first of all, I will just briefly touch on those stretches. So the hip flexors are in the front of the hips, and so we can do like a classic flamingo stretch where we just reach behind and grab that foot. One thing that I will focus on there is that when we do that, sometimes we can just kind of go, well, let me scoot back a little bit more. Sometimes when we do this classic flamingo stretch, we can just kind of do whatever with the top part of our body. But if we tuck our butt in and then pull up here, try not to let the knee come out to the side, hold it straight down, tuck the butt in, and pull up, then you'll feel it more in your hip flexor. You'll also feel it in the front of your thigh and your quad. Another thing you can do is a lunge with your back leg straight. So you'll come into a lunge. Again, don't let that butt pop out, tuck it in, and then come down just as far as you need to. Keep that back leg pretty straight until you feel a stretch here. Another option would be to bring this back leg to the back knee to the ground and lean forward, always keeping that butt tucked in. So those are a couple of stretches that will specifically target those hip flexors. In addition to that, you can take a ball like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, or I have a softball right here, and you can use, or a foam roller, you can use that as a self-myofascial release, where you're going to put that over the affected area and actually lay on top of it and try and just relax until that discomfort dissipates or starts to go away. So those are things to work on for treatment. Other things that I would also recommend would be to think about where you're working. So the question was relating to working from home, being on the computer all day long, and maybe even if you're not working from home, but you're kind of at a desk all day long, right? So think about where you're sitting and what you have control over. So can you move around? Can you change where you're working from? So if you're working from home, you might have a setup that has to stay in one spot, but you might be able to move to the kitchen table or outside on a lounge chair maybe for a little while. And so that could be something where you're changing the position that you're in so that you don't get as stiff. Another thing to think about is the chair that you are sitting in and the height of the table or desk that you're using. So again, you might not be able to control what desk you're using, but you might be able to bring in a different chair. And if you find a chair, there's so many options, right? If you find a chair where your knees can be a little bit lower than your hips, or if you can adjust your chair, then that can help. And but you can even use like an exercise ball, like one of those Swiss exercise balls, and that helps you to engage your core throughout the day also, and you tend to move a little bit more just because it's a round ball, so that helps with not getting as stiff. And then lastly, I would say that just standing up, if you have a short break in between meetings, stand up to drink your water, or walk around your desk. I like to take a break and just walk around the kitchen or go into the backyard, or see what's going on in the house. If there's a pet, I'll throw the toy a few times, anything to get you out of your chair for a little bit or move around. I want to say that that's my routine. That's what I've done that has seemed to work really well for me. The other thing that I've worked on is strengthening my hip flexors and my glutes. Hi, Lynn. And that has helped as well. So if you'd like to learn more about that, or if you have any more specific questions on that type of thing, go ahead and send us a message and we can talk. That's all that I have for advice, and if you have any questions right now, I'll be happy to talk for a few more minutes. Thanks, Lynn. Otherwise, we do have next week, our topic is on back pain, with working from home in COVID times. So we'll be kind of on the same topic. And then before I go, I just have to say that we do have a winner. So this week we started a challenge for movement. We're all about moving well. This week was on dancing, and like, should I say her name or her Instagram name? So the Instagram name is The Little Experience, and her name is Diana, and she has been doing line dancing, and she showed us a video. We posted it on our story. I think you might still be able to see one of them. And so she is a winner for this week. So Diana, we'll be reaching out to you for a free movement assessment and one-on-one consultation. Next week, our topic is moving with family, or whoever your people are that you live with, whoever your loved ones are, just getting people on board. And that will start next week. So keep a lookout on our stories and our posts for all of that information about the Move Well Challenge. And if you're interested in joining, all you have to do is post a video of yourself and joining in with your family or your roommates or whoever you're closest with, doing something. It can be so short, it can be silly, it can be maybe you are really good at something and you want to show it off. Whatever it is, post it in a video, tag us, and tag our hashtag, which is Who Moves Best. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.